Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
Hey, Max here. Back with a reaction. It's not a fresh reaction. I watched the video ahead of time, and then I was like, should I do it? Because damn it, I was ready to. I went in with preconceived notions and my personal bias towards Ryan Kinnell, and I still don't like him. And I still think he's a douche, and he's afraid to talk to people. But honestly, this is one of Ryan's better videos, and I actually agree with him because I've also seen John Leguizamo freak out about the James Franco casting of Fidel Castro, and I didn't do much research on it, but I originally was like, oh, I'm going to watch this because Ryan's going to be extremely hypocritical. He's not going to care when I'm more I don't know all James Franco's heritage. I haven't really done the research in there, but the article he's reading did. And I was like, oh, he's got Art Ryan's going to be hypocritical because he's not going to care that a white man takes over a different ethnicity's role. And how there's been whitewashing in Hollywood for years, and white people really didn't care, but they really, really, really care when some rules, not all of them, some rules are race bent. So I was ready to think, oh, this is going to be funny to expose Ryan and his own hypocrisy. And I like John, I'm not going to try to cancel just because John Leguizamo says some bullshit that I think is stupid too. I still like him. I still think he's a good actor. I do know he's extremely political as well, but ultimately, I put him in the same category as Ryan Kinnell. Well, not the same category as Ryan Kinnell, with some of the nonsense, just on the opposite side. So this is me being consistent and nuanced and trying. Everyone's a little bit hypocritical, but trying. So I actually will give this video a thumbs up, but I thought you might enjoy this. I can even give props to people I completely disagree with when they're accurate. And there is a lot of representation behind this project as well. And then you're going to like this slippery slope. Well, even if you got the right representation for the actor to play Fidel Castro, then should you even do it? Because you might be idolizing a figure that has a very complicated and bad, past for a lot of people. So, that's where we get. That is where I do see there are issues. Like, what are you allowed to make? You're allowed to make any. I mean, I would hope that people would do it in a way that's respectful and handle certain projects in a careful way. But ultimately, they're allowed to make the production. And ignoring things that's just what I can't stand about right-wing extremists or the radical right, just like the radical left. Like, I don't think not having stuff is better for people. I think having as many different opinions is important. It really is. I don't like the hateful opinions. I really don't. But it's important. So my main issue with James Franco is not his nationality. And I'm ultimately not going to judge the man because I don't know all the facts. I know he's got a complicated history. I would hope if those stories are accurate, that he is working on himself to improve himself. And I honestly don't know. And I'm not going to, I'm not leading up the cancel wagon for James Franco. But I've heard a lot of shit, and it seems to be true. I just don't know. All right, so let's watch Ryan Kinnell.
When it was announced that James Franco would be playing infamous Cuban dictator Fidel Castro in an upcoming role, some people in Hollywood got extremely upset about this. Is it because of all of the allegations surrounding James Franco and maybe some people who may or may not have been underage at the time?
No, I didn't actually. I missed that the first time I watched it. I didn't know about the underage stuff. That's horrendous. If that's true, that's horrendous. I don't know. So that's disgusting. That is my main issue with him. I would also hope that they would try to accommodate best they can to cast someone that's close to the race of Fidel Castro, Cuban, but that's my main issue with James Franco. My personal, I just don't know though. I don't know if all the accusations are real. I don't know.
You're completely fine with that. The problem that some people in Hollywood have is that apparently James Franco is not Latin enough to play Fidel Castro, and the person who was leading this charge was John Leguizamo. He ain't Latino. John Leguizamo rages over James Franco playing Fidel Castro, calls for a boycott. This is really one of the more laughable things that I've seen in the past little bit here in Hollywood, because here you have a guy in John Leguizamo who rages and rants and raves about representation and diversity and all that.
Which I applaud. But if you're going to go that route, you have to, I think you should, this is things I applaud, but you be more careful. Like, I honestly think he isn't really saying the whole truth. He probably has a bias against James Franco too, because of all the rumors about his bad behavior too.
You know damn well if they had decided to, make George Washington black in an upcoming movie, he would probably have no problem with it. But because James Franco is playing Fidel Castro, he's freaking out. And really, I don't know why. You can see just from these pictures, James Franco does look a lot like Fidel Castro. And we're about to get into his origins and his heritage and all that. And it actually kind of makes sense that Franco is playing him. But Leguizamo, woke John Leguizamo, is furious about this. Actor John Leguizamo raged on Instagram in response to actor James Franco being...
And while you're watching this this is going to be a pre-record vid. Tell me what you think in the comment section below of what you think about John Leguizamo's comments. And is this gone too far? And then is Ryan right in this video? And your thoughts on James Franco as well. Like, I'm very conflicted on him. I think most people should have a path forward, but if that underage thing is accurate, I don't want to give him any more chances, honestly, if that's true. All right.
Asked to play Cuban communist dictator Fidel Castro in an upcoming film, Alina of Cuba. Leguizamo, who's been outspoken about Hispanic representation in Hollywood, says that while he has no problem with Franco personally, he ultimately believed that a Latino should play Castro. Franco is of Portuguese and Russian Jewish ancestry. So keep in mind Fidel Castro's heritage. Can we just go to this? Can we realize that Fidel Castro, his father, lived in Galicia? That's in northwest Spain. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not from the area, but northwest Spain. Where did James Franco, where's his heritage from? It's from Portugal. Northwest Spain, Portugal. Okay. These places are not that far removed. And in fact, they went out of their way to try to find someone from that had roots in that general area of the world to cast as Fidel Castro. But John Leguizamo freaks out about this. How is this still going on? How is Hollywood excluding us, but stealing our narratives as well? Let's just...
I also think if John Leguizamo is going to jump the shark on this topic, he should also really research who is producing it behind the actor, who is behind the production is also very important. Now, I didn't know that about Franco's heritage. I mean, can't we just take things case by case basis? There's a lot other things to be upset about James Franco than this.
Entire Instagram post. No more appropriation, Hollywood and streamers. Boycott. This fucked up. Plus, seriously difficult story to tell without aggrandizement, which would be wrong. I don't got a prob with Franco, but he ain't Latino. So if they cast a Latino to play Fidel Castro, but still aggrandized him, would you be okay with that, or is that a no? This is
that's a good point, and I ultimately, Ryan is right there that even if they cast someone that John Leguizamo was okay with, that the next issue would be, should you even make it? So he ultimately sets up a series of benchmarks and hurdles to pass to go through his personal checklist. Honestly, maybe I also believe, my personal opinion, that John Leguizamo wanted to be considered. I don't know. Now, honestly, do you think John would take the role as well? I think he would. I think John would have taken the role.
So funny because, again, these are the same people who clap and applaud when a character gets race swapped, when they get gender swapped, when they get sexuality swapped, all of these things. These woke losers are they're clapping. That's so stunning.
No, I don't agree with them.
Damn well, if a white person had been changed into a Latino person, he'd have no problem with it. And the funny thing is,
there are so many white characters, though. That's what you're not including there. But overall, this video is still pretty decent, his take. And let me know what in the comment section as well what you rate Ryan's take here. This is one of his better takes. It's been a while, Ryan, since you actually had a decent take instead of your shit takes.
Franco has this Portuguese heritage. You can even see where they explain why they cast him. Regarding Franco, O'Fellan, who's part of this project, explained the actor was cast out of a desire for visual accuracy, as the production team found that he bore a striking resemblance to Castro. Finding and conceiving Franco to play Castro was a fun and challenging process and has been the collaborative work of a universe.
And even though I have personal issues with James, I shouldn't say it like that. I have a lot of concerns about him and his history, and I don't know what's accurate or not. There's just so much out there. I think he is a very capable actor, and I think he also is hungry to rebuild his image. I just personally, I don't know. Is it unfair for me to say that I would like to know if he's trying to work on his issues, or is that irrelevant? Remove the art from the artist. I don't know. It's complicated, but it would make me feel better if I knew that he was cleared of some of those accusations and it's not true. I don't know. And then he's working on things, but really, is that my business either? I don't know. I ultimately, if I remove his history and I just think about his acting capability and also what the production said there, that they visual resemblance, I do see also the visual resemblance, and it's not exact casting based on his ethnicity, but I mean, is it something to rage about either? So
because our director's original order was to find an actor who has a close physical
it looks
resemblance
like
to the
Ryan
real
likes
Castro
some
to build
noodles.
from. Of the casting
That's
process,
uncommon goodness.
he recalled, to get there on such a tough look to cast, we used Fidel Castro's ancient Galatian heraldry as our focal compass, then combed through the entire rank of actors with Latin roots in Hollywood to find someone who has similar facial structure. In executing a close search in our hopefuls through the eye of Spanish and Portuguese genealogy, which the Galatians held, we found that James by far had the closest facial likeness of our industry's leading actors. Meaning the focus would be to build out his character accent and a stunning on-screen match to intrigue audiences, bring story life.
Now, based on what the production is saying, this is actually a good article. God damn it. Is this also Bounding in the Comics? Damn it. I hope this isn't. It looks like Bounding in the Comics head border there. Damn. I mean, what do you think? Is it still a shit article? It's actually done research there. Oh man. And it's got research. It's got research there too.
With true visual integrity. They found someone that looked like him to play him. Almost like that's how a lot of castings in Hollywood should go. But again, people furious about this. I love the 221B ads, just as an aside. I love the fact that the RK Outpost patch is popping up on 221B. All right. If you want to get one of these awesome bags and the patch along with it, use code RK Outpost for a free patch. Go to 221B, go to the Geeks and Gamers collection. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment below and the description. The View co-host Ana Navarro said in response to Leguizamo's post, I'd like to think no Latino actor worth their salt would sign up to play and aggrandize a murderous dictator who terrorized the people of Cuba for 6 decades. For both reasons you articulated, I join you in the boycott. As Breitbart reported, the movie will be based on the book authored by Castro's Cuban descendant daughter and will be directed by Miguel Bardem, cousin of Javier Bardem. Leguizamo made no mention of the fact that Latinos are essentially steering this project.
That's really not cool. That's really not cool. That's really not cool. Just like Peter Dinklage, he spoke for everyone. He took it upon himself to speak for all people in the industry when he also has taken some roles. And I still like Peter Dinklage. I'm not canceling the man. I just don't like, there's other people associated with this production. And I think John is taking upon himself to speak for a lot of people, and I don't think that's cool. So I mostly, not 100%, I will never 100% agree with this douchebag, but this video is pretty on point.
Alina Fernandez, the daughter, supported Franco's casting. No mention of that. Just John Leguizamo showing this Hollywood hypocrisy. No problem that Franco has been accused of some pretty fucking heinous shit out there. That's not a problem in Hollywood. All that might be a problem is the optics involved. And when it comes to John Leguizamo, it's interesting that he would bring these things up. Because as Matthew Marsden, my friend Matthew Marsden, rightfully pointed out, hang on a minute, I thought all roles were up for grabs now. That's a bit, what do they call it? Yes, well, incredibly hypocritical. But then he brings up something else. John Leguizamo played Luigi in Super Mario Brothers. That's okay, though. An Italian plumber played by John Leguizamo, who I believe is Colombian. Now, his grandfather has Italian roots. Is that enough? That's less Italian than James Franco has Portuguese.
Both sides need to chill out, though. Both sides need to chill out. Yeah, yes, I think we should strive for authenticity and representation, and also realize the context of how many white characters there are too, and not be ignorant and avoid context as well. But both sides need to chill out and take things on a case by case basis and just chill the F out. And also I do value, though, like some people might say, it doesn't even matter who's working on the film behind the scenes. No, that matters. I think that's important. Absolutely think it's important. Who's getting the production ready. So I'm interested to see how this production, works out. And John Leguizamo, I think should be more careful as well. Maybe we all should, before we flip out.
Portuguese. Is that enough? Is that going to be enough for John Leguizamo to get away with playing an Italian plumber? Maybe not in his mind. I don't know. You'd have to ask this guy, because clearly he's all over the place when it comes to his consistency. Let me know your thoughts about John Leguizamo freaking out about James Franco.
And he did.
Castro. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
No, share mine.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons.
Huge shout out. Okay. Well, I thought I would do this quick reaction before I go to the grocery store. I do have some other quick video topics, and I'm really looking forward to tonight's member stream. I hope you like this reaction. More to come. Have a good one.